Hi, I am Susan, and I'm the maker of the Daily Polls. I'm 53 years old. I have short hair. I love life. I like wine, and I always stop and buy lemonade when I see a kid having a lemonade stand. Thank you. The people who stop to vote in the Daily Polls are fabulous. I've had a totally crappy last 2 years. I've had family illness and death, actually a double dose of death. We all thought 2020 would be better. It would have to be. And now look, COVID-19. So these daily polls have become one of my escapes. They're a way to connect with people without actually connecting, because obviously connecting would be dangerous right now. I have a history of doing fun, some people might say crazy stuff outside around our home. We had Sean Spicer poking out of our bushes for a while. We had a blow-up unicorn with googly eyes farting bubbles while spreading the word about social distancing. I give away warm clothing on our front gate to passers-by in the winter. I call it Project Warmth. We had a free hot cocoa stand once during a particularly cold spell. Sometimes I stand outside and wave a sign thanking bus drivers. And I had a camera once on the front gate that I left up for a while with a prompt asking passers-by to photograph something that they found inspirational, beautiful, or joyous. I loved that project. Such amazing photos came out of it. All those acts are what I call projects, usually front gate projects, because they take place on our front gate, which we don't actually have anymore because a car ran into our house. But this pandemic caused me to reach a bit further than our front gate. Right across the street, to be precise. I wanted the polls to be in a neutral place, so the street corner, and I wanted it to be where people would pass by and see them. Speaking of seeing them, sometimes I eat lunch out on our front porch, or maybe I'll be out in the yard pulling weeds, and I see people walk by the poll without even reading it. That baffles my mind. My personality is just so opposite of that. I have a hard time wrapping my head around not being curious enough to at least stop and read a bright color of paper on the sidewalk. But you are curious. You stop. You vote. And for that, I thank you. You make my days sunnier. You make quarantine more fun. And you make me feel like the world is going to be all right. This daily poll piece was left in the box. It says, "We love the poll of the day. We're a family of 3 with a 3-year-old who sometimes doesn't feel like going outside, when we all know that going outside improves everyone's mood. The poll of the day is the one thing that will get her out the door. Most days she'll initiate by saying, 'Mom, let's go vote.' She also really enjoys seeing the results as the day goes on. Thank you for giving us something to look forward to every day. We truly love it. Love, Ross, Aaron, and 3-year-old Cece." And here's another note that was left in the box from somebody who votes in the polls. "To my awesome neighbor. I just moved to the area a week before lockdown began, so needless to say, this has been quite a transition. I abruptly moved back to the States after living abroad in a bustling city. Fortunately, I have friends who live down the street from you in Arlington, and they have been letting me stay in their extra room for a few months, so I'm not alone during quarantine. So that has been a nice welcome home gift. But another gift lately was discovering your weekly poll. It brings so much joy to me on my walks and reminds me of the beauty that lies within simple pleasures. Anyway, I could go on and on about why your poll is great, but you hopefully already know that. So I'll get to the point of telling you what you don't know, which is everything about me. Well, of course, not every single deep, dark twist and turn of my brains and soul, but some of the highlights. 1. As I'm writing this, I'm listening to a mixtape my friend made me of experimental soundscapes. I grew up in a small town with many farms in Pennsylvania. I love ice cream and always order different flavors. I am 24 years old, was born November 19th, 1995. I have brown hair that I cut myself. I work at a local farmer's market on the weekends. I work at the United Nations Environment Program during the week. I love being in love. But I also once wrote a paper on the importance of female masturbation. I have a lot of dreams and sometimes struggle choosing which ones to follow. I love to wear glittery shoes. I go by my middle name, which is Jane, and always have. Thank you, Jane.